Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Another thing I noticed, guys, a lot of persons keep commenting on my videos how much they like the video, but guess what? You have to click that like button that's right down there if you actually like the video, because that will help my videos out a lot. It will tell YouTube that persons really enjoy watching my content and they will recommend it to more persons. So when you watch the video, guys, please remember to hit the thumbs up button. It looks like a hand with a thumb that's up and it's right down there. So before you even finish watching this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Thank you. So the last time I did a story time, I realized that you guys really liked it, and if you guys haven't watched it as yet, I'm gonna leave a link to it right up here and you can go and watch it next to see what it was about. So I decided that I'm gonna tell the story of how I gave birth to my baby boy 2 years ago. I know a lot of persons do it right after they give birth, but I wasn't on YouTube when I gave birth to him, so you're getting the story right now. So if that's something that you're interested in listening to, please stay tuned to this video. So first of all, I gave birth in Jamaica, right here in Jamaica. My son was due on September 18th and he was born on September 20th. So because he was overdue, my doctor gave me an appointment to come into the hospital to be induced. So I got the appointment. I got to the hospital at 6 p.m. I checked in at 6 p.m. on September 19th. They checked my vitals, they put in my access, and I got my bed number. And then later on in the night, my doctor came and checked on me, and he said that the next morning at 6 a.m. sharp, he would be there to insert a pill into my vagina to start the induction process, and I should wake up and get ready, shower before he got there. Now a lot of persons might be wondering why you better get induced if you were only 2 days overdue. A lot of persons, they go to 41 weeks. I think some persons go to 42 weeks overdue before they have their child. But if you know me, you know I did not have a very easy pregnancy. My pregnancy was very hard. I was sick all the time. I was always nauseous. I could barely walk most of the times because the baby was very low on my pelvic. I had some pelvic issues, and so it was very uncomfortable for me to be pregnant. I thought I was gonna deliver at probably 38 or 39 weeks, but he was inside of me for too long at that point, and I wanted to get it over with, so I decided to agree to the induction. So now the day came for me to give birth. It was now September 20, 2017. So I got up very early. I got up from 5 a.m. I was super excited about that day because I was finally going to meet my baby and this was all going to be over with. So I woke up at 5 a.m. went to take a shower. I put on my cutest nightgown. My favorite color is yellow, so I put on my bright yellow maternity nightgown and freshen up. I was feeling so cute. But guys, that never lasts long. My doctor came at 6 a.m. as he promised, and we started the induction process. I went to the checking room where they check pregnant women, and he inserted the pill inside of my vagina, and he explained that he was going to come back and check on me every 3 hours to see how the dilation process was going. And the nurse explained to me that once he inserted the pill, I would not be able to move from my bed for 1 hour, so I would have to lie still in the same position for 1 hour on my bed. Now guys, when he was inserting that pill inside of me, I was looking for the baby because I was certain that I was giving birth. It was painful. I thought, this is giving birth. The baby is gonna come out any second now. But no, he was just inserting the pill. So I lay down in my bed until visiting hours at, I think that's around 11:30. At this point, I could get up and I could walk around the maternity ward. I started pacing myself up and down the maternity ward. And I know a person said that it's when you're giving birth, it feels like a period cramp. That's what I was feeling at this point. It was just a period cramp, so I could walk through it and I could talk through it. And then after visiting hours was over, the pain started intensifying, and then my doctor came back. I think this is the second time he was checking me since he inserted the pill at 6 a.m. So guys, every time they check you to see if you're dilated, they have to push multiple fingers inside your vagina. Now again, I thought this was giving birth. Every time he went up there to check if I was dilated, it hurt really bad. It hurt bad. And I had to go through this process multiple times in the day. So when he checked me at about 1 or 2 o'clock, I wasn't dilated far. Maybe I just started dilating probably 1 centimeter. That's why the pain was just like period cramp. So after he checks me, the pain started to intensify to the point where I could no longer walk through the pain and I could not talk. I just had to sit in one position. I couldn't sit on my bed. I had to sit on a bench in the waiting area right next to the check-in room, because if I went back to my bed, there was no way I could walk back to the check-in room. So I sat on a bench right next to the check-in room. So whenever he called me, it was a short transit to the check-in room. It was no longer like period cramps anymore. And you know when persons say the cramps come and goes and you can count the chant. Hold on guys, I think my son wants. You know when normally people say that the contraction comes and it goes and it's spaced out and they can count it. That's what I hear about, that's what I hear people saying. I lie. My own never got nowhere. My own went constant. I was constantly in pain. I couldn't count anything. It never spaced out. I was having back labor, so it was no longer the period cramps. It was pain in my back. So it felt as if all my bones in my back was just somebody was crushing it. It felt like somebody was crushing my spine. And in Jamaica, they if it's not visiting hours, there's nobody allowed to be in the maternity ward with you, so you're by yourself. There's nobody to rub your back, give you a word of comfort, nobody to hold your hand and hush you. You are alone in the maternity ward, so you have to mentally tell yourself that you are going to do this. You can make it. At this point, I started second guessing pushing out a child, because I was like, if this so acts, what is it like pushing out a baby? Because all I've been feeling since 6 a.m. until now is pure pain, and we can't say no picnic. I was just over it at this point. So even though my husband was at the hospital with me, he was not allowed to be on the maternity ward with me. He had to stay outside until I was ready to give birth. So what was going through my mind at this time when I was feeling all of this pain was, girl, you come this far, you have to have a baby. You're not left the hospital without one baby. Alright, I had to be encouraging myself. I had to be my own motivator, because when that pain lick you, you're gonna feel like you want to turn back. But you have to just imagine yourself seeing your baby, seeing what you've been working for these 9 months in your arms at the end of the day. And that's what I kept imagining to get me through that pain. So at around 5 p.m. or some minutes to 5, the doctor came back and he decided that he was going to check me again to see how far dilated I was, and he was going to break my water this time. When he asked me to come to the checking room with him, remember I told you I was on a bench right next to the checking room, I could not move. I had to ask him to give me a few minutes because I was in so much pain and I could not move my legs. That's how much pain I was in. Pain did not mad me. I could not manage to put one foot in front of the other. So when I finally managed to walk to the check-in room, he broke my water, and let me not mention to you how painful that is with that. So after he broke my water, he explained that it came out green. So if you know, if you had a baby before, you know that the first poop or doo-doo, it comes out green. So my water, when he broke it, it came out green. It means that the baby had already started to poop inside of me, and if he ingest it, it could kill him and it could poison my body, so we could both die. So he said that I had to do an emergency C-section. Now let me tell you guys, this was the best news I've heard all day. I know a lot of persons, they shy away from C-section because it's painful afterwards, but I was in so much pain already. I just wanted this to be over with. It was such a painful experience. I just wanted it to be over. So the first thing I asked him after he mentioned the C-section was, so you have anything can give me for the pain here? Him say, when I got to the theater, they would give me something and the pain would go away instantly. And I said, so you don't have nothing right now? Him say, no. So the nurses came immediately and they started prepping me for the C-section. Now, if you don't know what that means, it meant that they took off all of my clothes, and since they're gonna cut down there, they had to ensure that it was properly shaved so the doctor could see where he was putting his cut, of course. And they packed my maternity pad, they packed the baby's clothes, olive oil, everything that they were going to need for the baby and myself after the C-section was completed. And this was a very painful process for me because I was in a lot of pain, and I had to go on a bed in that room so the porters could take me to the theater. When I got to the theater door, I had to move over onto another bed to go into the theater. When I got into the theater, I had to move over on another bed for them to cut me on that bed. So I went through 3 beds, I think, in total before they cut me, and I had to keep moving, and I was in so much pain. So when I got to the theater now, when I was on the bed there, I thought that the anesthesiologist would be there waiting for me so that I could get rid of this pain. But I had to wait until he got there. When he eventually got there, he introduced himself to me, and he explained what he was about to do, and he explained to me that I had to keep very still so that I couldn't move. So I had to ask him, so I can get the injection now? Him say, alright, because me just will want the pain to disappear. My back when I kill me. So when I got that injection in my back, they put ice on my leg to ensure that I wasn't feeling anything in my legs, and then they put the ice on my face to compare what I was feeling on my leg to what I was feeling in my face. So I was still feeling, I still had feelings in my leg, so that means they couldn't go ahead and cut because I would still feel pain. So what they had to do was give me a second injection in my back because it was an emergency and they had to cut me as quickly as possible. So that second injection that I got in my back, it caused some complication, and I had to go back inside the hospital, be admitted after I was released. So that's a whole different story, and if you want me to do a different story time about that, just let me know in the comments below, because I really went through a lot because of that second injection. So after I got the second injection now, I started getting I started panicking because I couldn't breathe, and then because I couldn't breathe, I kept moving my head, and they kept telling me that I had to stay still because the doctor was down there with a knife. But because I wasn't used to the oxygen that they had over my nose and my mouth, I started panicking. But the anesthesiologist, he kept reassuring me that everything was fine. It was just because I wasn't used to what was over my nose. So, like other persons, I think other persons, when they have a C-section, they are able to stay awake throughout the entire process. I was very drugged up because I got 2 injections, so I wasn't able to stay awake during my C-section. I just dozed off, and the next thing I heard was when the baby started crying. I mean, at first I thought I was gonna die because I couldn't breathe properly, and when I heard the baby crying, I was like, girl, you can't dead, you have a baby to live for. So I was intent on living for my child no matter what happened in that theater. So then when the baby started crying, the nurse brought the baby up to my face, and she wanted to ensure that I could confirm that it was a boy. So she showed him his penis to me. I was really drugged up, so I just nodded and went back to sleep. When I woke up, I was in a room by myself. And the nurse explained to me that I was in a recovery room because I took a long time to wake up. And this was after probably 8 o'clock in the night. Oh, by the way, my baby was born at 5:59 p.m. on September 20, 2017. He was 6 pounds and 12 ounces. He was very long, very skinny. Yes, but when I got to see him again, it was after 8 in the night because I was in recovery for a very long time because I couldn't wake up. I was just sleeping. So, yeah, that's my labor and delivery story. What happened after labor and delivery is an entirely different story, and as I said before, if you want to hear that story, just say so in the comments below, and I will definitely put it in a different story time for you guys. If anybody had a similar birth to mine, I would love to hear about it as well in the comments below. And if you've ever been through anything similar to what I went through in labor, I would love to hear about it in the comments below as well. So guys, remember to give this video a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and share my videos with other persons. And I will see you guys in my next video. So this is my son, guys. What's your name?
Cancer.
Who's that? Who's that?
Candy.
Who's that? How old are you? How old are you?
2.
You're 2 years old. Your name is Levi.
Levi.
Yes, your name is Levi.
Huh?
Say hi to the camera. Hi. He's 2.5 years old and he has the biggest personality. Who taught you how to do that? Who taught you how to laugh and cover your mouth? No, I didn't say you should cover your mouth. I said who taught you how to laugh and cover your mouth? Alright, say tell everybody bye.
Bye.
Bye.